but I have it recorded on time-lapse camera. It's fantastic.
What's up, Vault Dwellers? Dan here, and today we're going to talk about the haunted house film, a genre I have a deeply personal relationship with because I am a grown man who still sleeps with the bathroom light on when I'm in a hotel, and if I can, I'll push the TV out onto the walkway. Now, I'm not interested in haunted house movies where the house is just a location. I want the ones where the house has a personality, where the architecture is part of the threat, where you could just feel the walls watching you. Every film on this list, it did something specific to me. Rewired just something, kept me up, and changed how I looked at a room or a hallway or a closet that shouldn't be able to swing open by itself. All right, let's check it out.
You think you could just terrorize my lawn?
No, I'm sorry.
You want to be a dead person?
No, I love life.
This place is not a playground for children.
Got it from now on.
Monster House from 2006 starts the list because it earns its place through just sheer nerve. This is an animated children's film in which the house across the street is a living organism that eats people. Not a ghost in the house, not a monster inside of the house. The house is the monster, like every floorboard and shingle and rain gutter parts are breathing. It's a hungry creature that has been devouring neighborhood kids and pets and stray basketballs for years, while the adults, they don't notice anything.
Freeze! Tree? Hey, what you doing? You can't do that. That's the officer's weapon. You doing that is illegal.
I saw this with a theater just full of kids expecting a fun animated adventure. The faces around me about 20 minutes in were just, it was something to see. The film doesn't flinch. I mean, the origin story involves a woman dying inside the walls during construction, and her grief and rage become the house itself. That's like dark for a PG movie.
The house is alive!
The wrecking ball sequences, they're just super intense. It starts here because it's the youngest entry and the gentlest, but make no mistake, it belongs on this list. It's the only film on here that made me think about Overlook.
You ain't nothing! You're a shack! You're an outhouse!
I believe that the very presence of people like yourselves in this house will help to stimulate the strange forces at work here.
Charming thought to be used as live bait.
I'm here because I'm a wolf in ghost clothing.
1963 brought us The Haunting, and it sits near the bottom of this list not because it's lesser than the films above it, because when I saw it and how. I came to this one as an adult, like already primed by the films it influenced, and some of that first-time magic was just basically gone for me. That's entirely on me and not on the film, which it's extraordinary. Robert Wise, he's the same man who made The Sound of Music just 2 years later, which totally still does my head in. This is adapted from Shirley Jackson's novel with one radical decision. You never see anything. No ghost, no monster, just walls that breathe, doors that bulge inward, and a woman slowly and quietly coming apart.
No, I'm so cold. It's going to start everything all over again.
Julia Harris is heartbreaking in this. Hill House is described as a house born bad, and Wise makes you believe like every word of it through camera angles that are just subtly and persistently wrong. Just nothing is straight, nothing is square, and the sound design, that pounding on the walls, is one of cinema's great audio achievements.
Yeah, what is it? What is it? I thought it was you pounding. It was. I mean, I did.
If you've only seen the 1999 remake, I'm sorry. You should probably fix that.
What happened?
She's gone.
Where? How?
Good God.
Mark, if this is your idea of a joke, this is what living in a haunted house has done to your sense of humor.
We'll start with this room and then the whole house, even if we have to tear the place apart.
10 months. This house has been the focus of an astonishing barrage of supernatural activity. This footage was shot by parapsychologists investigating the case. Now, you're about to see one of the incidents that have earned this house...
So Ghostwatch aired once on BBC One on Halloween night 1992 and was presented as a live documentary investigation of Britain's most haunted house, and was then just banned from ever airing again. Over 1 million people called the BBC switchboard that night. Children developed documented PTSD. The BBC has never repeated it.
Don't worry, I've seen it before. It will subside. Feel her temperature.
She's burning up.
Don't touch me.
It's like a meat locker in here. It's so cold.
But we can't move because she's in agony and she won't even let me touch it.
What do you want to do?
I didn't see this one live. I mean, I found it years later. And even knowing it was fiction, knowing the whole story, the final act totally got me.
What is?
Was what you wanted, wasn't it?
Gone.
We just gave you what you
We're not calling the
wanted.
shots anymore.
Stop it.
No, no.
Michael Parkinson, like the most trusted face on British television, is possessed live on air. The ghost pipes glimpsed in the background of shots before anyone acknowledges him. The house is a transmission tower broadcasting its haunting through the BBC signal into 11 million living rooms simultaneously. It's the most elegant horror concept I have ever seen.
Susie.
Stop it! Stop it, Susie! Suzanne, you're coming with me. Suzanne? You're coming... Suzanne?
And this was done in 1992 on a TV budget. Blair Witch took notes on this thing. Late Night with the Devil took notes. Ghostwatch did it first, and it did it best. The BBC will never air it again. It does live on Shudder though, but I don't know if you should watch it alone.
Round and round the garden, like a teddy bear.
The Entity from 1981, I'm just going to warn you, this is the hardest watch on this list. Barbara Hershey plays Carla, and she's a single mother who begins being attacked and assaulted by an invisible presence in her home. The film is based on a case that parapsychologists at the time treated as legitimate. It never explains the entity. It never resolves the entity. It just depicts a woman being terrorized in the one place that she should be safest, relentlessly for hours. What stays with me, though, isn't the horror set pieces. It's Hershey's performance. She plays Carla as like a real person, frightened, stubborn, and furious, just refusing to be driven out even when the house has become the danger itself. The scene where the researchers construct a cryogenic replica of the house to trap the entity is a film, at its most ambitious. The entity was dismissed when it came out and has been slowly, correctly reassessed ever since. Like I said, it's not comfortable viewing, and it shouldn't be. That's the whole point.
you speak to us?
Yes.
What is your name? Are you the child Cora?
The Changeling from 1980, it's the film I recommend to people who say, haunted house movies, they're cheap. George C. Scott, he plays a composer who rents a vast Victorian mansion in Seattle after losing his wife and daughter in a car accident. Because grief and an enormous cold house, they've always been like natural companions. And discovers that the house has a secret sealed inside it for decades.
Joseph, did you die in this house? How did you die? How did you die? How did you die?
Now, The Changeling doesn't have like jump scares. There's no monster reveal. What it has is atmosphere so thick, you can absolutely cut it. The seance scene is incredible, and that bouncing red ball that comes back when it shouldn't be able to, and the wheelchair that moves. Each one lands because the director, he earns them through patience and silence. George C. Scott grounds the whole thing in real grief. He's not a horror character playing that sadness. He's a devastated man who happened to move into the wrong house. And that makes everything that happens to him hit harder than has any right to.
What do you want from me? I've done everything I can do. There's nothing more to do.
The mystery at the center, it's actually compelling. The house earns its place as a character. This one doesn't get nearly enough credit. Burnt Offerings from 1976 is the haunted house film that the genre just quietly forgot, and one that Stephen King did not. King cited the source novel as one of his personal favorites, and if you watch this film, and then you watch The Shining like 4 years later, you'll start to notice some very similar looks. It's about a family under pressure, a magnificent decaying house rented at a suspiciously low price, and a husband who slowly and just horribly comes apart.
I can't. She has the only key. I don't have that key. It's locked.
All right, what is it you know? What is it you know all along?
Let me go.
Burnt Offerings got there first, and almost nobody gave it the credit. Oliver Reed and Karen Black play Ben and Marianne, and they're a couple whose marriage is already fraying before they even sign the lease. And the house doesn't so much as haunt them as it like feeds on them. Every death, every act of violence, every piece of the family it consumes makes the building bloom like back to life.
Look, Marion, will you stop talking about this room? It's all you ever think of. The room, the house, and the old lady.
Well, she depends on me. I am the only one.
And the wallpaper, it brightens. The pool starts clearing, and the garden repairs itself. Bette Davis is magnificent as a supporting role as Aunt Elizabeth, aging 20 years on screen in a makeup job that just unsettles anyone who watches this. And then there's the chauffeur, a reoccurring nightmare figure with this grinning face that Oliver Reed's character keeps seeing, and that I cannot fully describe without doing damage to the experience of seeing it for yourself. Good old Roger Ebert, he called the film slop, and Ebert was absolutely wrong. as normal. This one gets under your skin and just stays there.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Sandy.
House from 1985, it's just my personal entry. It's my personal haunted house film, the one that belongs to a specific age and a specific Saturday afternoon, and just this specific feeling of watching something that was scary and funny and weird, just all at the same time, and not knowing what to do with it all as a kid. William Katt, who also was like the greatest American hero, and don't you dare say that name without respect, by the way, plays Roger Cobb, and he's a Vietnam vet and horror novelist who inherits his aunt's Victorian house after her suicide, and he moves in to write his memoirs and discovers that the house, it's like a portal to his past, like to Vietnam and to the dimension where his missing son is trapped.
Oh, Dad. I want to go home.
George Wendt, Norm, forever Norm, he plays Harold the neighbor who keeps showing up with beer and zero awareness that anything supernatural is happening. And he's funnier here than he has any right to be. The creatures are rubber and just magnificent. The third act goes completely unhinged, and it's just awesome. This film is not as scary as anything above it on the list. I mean, it really doesn't need to be. It's just pure 1980s horror comedy joy. The kind of film that makes you remember exactly where you were when you saw it, who you were with, and how it felt. That's worth more than 1,000 well-crafted scares, in my book.
I've been waiting years for this, Roger.
Amy, open the door!
When you see a list and Amityville Horror is just number 3 on the best haunted house movies ever, you know number 1 and 2 are pretty damn good. So anyways, Amityville Horror from 1979 had one advantage no other film on this list has. Most of its audience already believed it actually happened. The words based on a true story and a nation of people in 1979 who were not prepared to be skeptical about them. I was just a little kid, right? Watching this way too young, and that house, that Dutch Colonial with the quarter-round attic window, and it had eyes. Like, it has lived in my head ever since.
That he heard voices in the house. He heard voices in the house, and the voices told him to do it. Now, I was in the house, and I heard the voices too, and I also felt the presence in the house. I'm telling you, there was a presence.
James Brolin grows a beard and just goes crazy, but by degrees, and Margaret Kidder senses everything from the first 5 minutes and spends the film just being ignored about it, which is its own special kind of horror.
The guy kills his whole family. Doesn't it bother you?
Well, yeah, sure, but houses don't have memories.
Rod Steiger shows up as a priest who has one bad afternoon and just leaves the movie. But the house, man, that house just sits there the whole time staring with those goddamn window eyes. Flies, a cold spot in the basement, and that rocking chair.
Jesus loves me, the Bible.
Who are you singing to, Princess?
You scared Jody.
I mean, the scares are mostly atmosphere and suggestion, which is exactly right. I mean, I think I was like 7 or 8 years old when I saw this, and I slept with the lights on for like a week. That house did that. Not the film. It was the house.
Open the goddamn door! Wendy, listen. Let me out of here and I'll forget the whole goddamn thing.
My number 2 slot goes to The Shining from 1980. This is where Kubrick took Stephen King's story about addiction and family violence and made it something colder, stranger, and just way more ambiguous. King famously hated it, and I think he was wrong. I know it's a hill to die on. Some of you love it, some of you hate it. Jack Nicholson and Shirley Duvall and their psychic child with The Shining.
Tony, why don't you want to go to the hotel? I don't know.
All in that Overlook Hotel. It's a building that has been collecting darkness for decades and has very specific ideas about who should stay there forever. The Overlook is the greatest architectural villain in cinema history. Its geometry is just deliberately impossible. Rooms that can't exist given the exterior, windows where walls should be, corridors that loop back on themselves. Kubrick designed a building that doesn't obey physical space, and the subliminal wrongness of it creates dread before a single frightening thing even happens. The Steadicam that follows Danny on his tricycle, I mean, that's one of cinema's greatest sustained sequences of pure unease. Room 237, the twins in the hallway, and the elevator, and Red Rum, and Jack Nicholson going from stressed to gone to somewhere just beyond. It's a performance that still makes me uncomfortable in ways that I really can't even fully name. The Overlook doesn't haunt randomly. It selects, and it's pretty patient.
They're here.
Poltergeist from 1982 is number 1 because, better than any other film, it understood what terrifies children the most, and it made like my whole generation feel unsafe in their own homes. This wasn't in a castle, and not a Victorian mansion or an English country estate. This was in a subdivision, a developer's housing development in California built on a cemetery where they moved the headstones, but they didn't move the bodies. It could be any house. I mean, it could be your house. And that was the whole terror. The family in this movie, they were a real family. They're not horror characters. They're just actual recognizable people living just a suburban life. And the house takes their youngest daughter, Carol Ann, through the television into just whatever is on the other side. The film is a suburban nightmare wrapped in a Spielberg family movie. And the horror works precisely because the warmth was like real. Now, things that killed me, I'm like the clown scene. The steak on the counter scene. The stacked chairs, the tree. I mean, each one of these, they just land so hard because you believed in this family before the darkness came for them. JoBeth Williams is phenomenal throughout this thing. She's like the real emotional anchor of the whole film. And Craig Nelson, I mean, he holds the thing together. The production now, I mean, it was notoriously cursed. Real skeletal remains were used as props. Multiple cast members died in the following years, which is either coincidence or the house like got out into the real world. You know, the Poltergeist is number one because it was the one that stayed. Every subsequent haunted house film I've ever seen, I mean, I've basically measured against it. The Overlook is grander. Hill House is more literary. Amityville has those goddamn eyes. But Poltergeist is the one that made me look at my bedroom closet differently. And some part of me has never fully stopped looking. So those are the 10 haunted house movies that affected me the most. I know there's hundreds of these movies out there, and there's a lot that I missed that you guys would love to hear about. Throw them in the comments. If you want to see a part 2, let me know which ones you want to do. We'll talk about them. All right, and before you go, there's some other videos you might want to check out from the vault. There's some pretty good haunted movies and horror movies. And by the way, keep it weird, folks.
People are leaving.